Hello, train people, and welcome to South Olympic Branch update number 23. Okay, first let's print out throw some tacky glue on here. Just kind of put it in an area. I don't like to work too big because you can get things can get kind of dried out before you actually get done. That's no fun. Okay. All right. I've got a grease brush that I bought in a multi-pack from a Napa store eons ago. And so I've got several of them still. And work pretty well for this process. I think it's basically the same thing as a glue brush. I don't know that for sure. One thing I do is, because this is a non-toxic water soluble glue, I'll just wash out the brush and I'll continue to use it over and over and over again, sometimes for several months before I actually need another one. And these brushes are not that expensive to begin with, so it's a pretty inexpensive process. Okay, so let's see. Actually, gonna lift up the backdrop, so I'll just go right back there without even touching it. The backdrop is kind of set in a slot right now behind the scenery and behind the part of the upper deck, as you can see. So it's not really affixed to anything. I'm going to change that pretty soon, but as for now, it's good. All right. I'll throw this brush in a cup of water because it's getting a little dry. And then time to the first step. So let's see. This is some of my woodland scenic scenery mixture that I use. I like to just come along and dump some of this on here, but I think in this particular instance, I'm going to grab my mixture of fine ground foam first, and come across here and just kind of paint the area with that a little bit first. Some of it may look a little thick, some may look a little thin. That's okay, because you can just go over this stuff again. And also, some areas are just going to look that way in nature, especially along a river where, they do have times of the year where this area of the country gets a lot of rain, and you'll see flooding where the river will be almost into town. I've been looking for some really big trees for the layout, and I found these Bachman Scenescape trees online. I don't think I'd seen them in person, so I decided to order some and see what they look like, thinking maybe I'd get some more later, because they're kind of spendy. It's about $15 for 2 trees. Anyway, I'm gonna open it up and take a look. So let's open up the box, slide these out, look at them. Oh, it's not actually allowing me to move it. What the heck? Oh, I see. Went to open the box and found that the inner packaging is taped to it. So, grab it, cut that. Now let's find out if it's taped to the other side. It is. This is pretty ridiculous. But I suppose they didn't want the trees to get damaged, so there you go. Let's see. Okay. This is way more difficult than it should be. Okay. All right. Let's open these things up. Now that I see this box, I think I probably did see it at see some of these at a store that I used to enjoy going to back in the day. The guy retired, which is good on him, and he deserved to retire. But anyway, up in Bellevue, it was a nice store. Anyway, let's get these things out of line. Okay, so I'll put this way up close to the camera so you guys can see it. This is a twisted wire trunk that looks like it's coated in like a thick paint. That's what I'm seeing there. It's not really a bad looking tree by itself, but it definitely could be better. And I'll have to take a look and give some thought as to whether I can do anything, or even if I should do anything with it, making it different. I've been going on a bit of a tree junket this week, trying to find some solutions for the layout that are a little bit bigger. And these were on Amazon. And they're big enough, all right, I think. But unfortunately, it looks like the Amazon driver, you know, sat on them or something. I don't know, the package. And I've sort of straightened out this package a little bit too. It was actually worse than that. But these are big trees. These are the, whoops, there they go. And they don't look too bad, but they do need some help. So that's a Woodland Scenics TR3521. And the trunk there needs some painting, but the upper part of it doesn't look too bad. And I'll figure out a place for these two trees, but I don't think I'll need any more that are this size. Putting down a little bit of plaster cloth to cover the gap tonight. And then I'll probably put a little bit of foam back there to fill that in. I put some plaster cloth down to fill the gaps in here. And then I went over it with some Sculptamold the other day. That's all dry, and now I've just given it a coat of autumn brown, just to give it something to cover the white. And then on some of this, I'll come back and color it gray for rocks, like, you know, some of this right here. I'll get that. A long time ago, I bought some Super Tree materials, and then I steamed it to try to straighten out those trunks because they come out crooked. And then this morning I painted that with satin espresso, and then spray paint, you know, did some spray adhesive on that, and then added a mixture of turf to add in some more trees for this area. So about 3 of the trees back there are new super trees. I've added a little more plaster cloth over here next to the river, and now I'm thinking about how I'm going to proceed from there. I've got some material by Chooch that makes a retaining wall, and I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to do Sculptamold over the plaster cloth or transition over to the retaining wall. So I thought I'd get back over to the end of the layout over here, start putting some more paint on the rocks and stuff over here.
I started doing this with that small brush I was using a few minutes ago. And this is, well, that's great for the other side where I was doing more detail stuff. This is, the sponge brush is way better for this area because there's a lot more volume to it. And so I'll have you guys sit here and watch the whole darn thing. Some of this is going to be 2 or 3 coats before it's done, so maybe even more than that. I've been known to paint and repaint and paint again. So decorate this up so it looks better.
And now you can see how much better that's going to look with a basic black coat. And I'll likely come across it with some lighter gray later, but this is just getting started, like I said. If you've never done scenery work, you might think that you don't really need to paint a lot of the stuff I'm painting. But if you've ever done scenery work, you know that you should go ahead and paint everything. The first time that I did something, I didn't think I had to. And man, that plaster showed right through the scenery. I had to put 3 layers of scenery on to cover what I didn't paint. So just paint everything. That's it in episode number 23. Running a SPS Challenger made by Athens probably about 8 years ago. This will be number 910. Here she comes. Hey, you guys want to watch that engine go across the bridge again, right? Here we go. Thanks for watching and take care out there, everybody. Catch you soon.